Today, I'm going to be talking to you about siblings. Webster Dictionary defines a sibling as one of two or more individuals having at least one parent in common. But I think we all know Urban Dictionary probably gives a better definition, which is one's exact opposite created by someone's parents to torture him or her until death, or a combination of a punching bag and a best friend. Like it or not, there's nothing quite as strong as a sibling bond. Growing up in the same environment with the same parents, they start to become a significant part of who you are. Approximately 80% of Americans have at least one sibling. In fact, kids today are more likely to grow up with a brother or sister rather than a stable father figure. That being said, having a good relationship with your sibling is very important. There are 5 types of sibling relationships in adults. The first is intimate. It's where you place the value of your sibling above anyone or anything else. The second is congenial. It is where you're very close, but there's a higher value on your spouse or kids. And the third is loyal. It's where you maintain regular contact and only see each other at holidays or family events. And the fourth is apathetic, where there's no contact or connection. And the last is hostile. It's a relationship built off of hate and resentment. The second and third types are often considered the best types, and if maintained, there's many benefits, such as improving your mental health, making you happier, decreasing your chance of depression, and helping you get along with your peers. I have a brother. His name is Colin, and he's 2 years older than me. When we were younger, all I ever wanted was to be just like him. But as we got past the ages of 6 and 8, all we did was fight. We were the prime example of a sibling rivalry. A few times when we stayed at my grandparents' house when we were younger, she had to call my parents to come pick us up because we were constantly fighting. But now that we're a lot older, we're much closer, and I would even call us friends. Older siblings, especially older brothers, are very protective and will always look out for you. It's important to have a strong bond because if anything happens, you know they will always be there for you. Especially when you're arguing with your parents, you almost always have an ally. Siblings play a big role in your life you may never be aware of. If you've ever seen me play soccer, you probably know I have a tendency to be a little too aggressive at times. I can thank Colin for the numerous yellow cards I've been given over the years because I've become accustomed to getting beaten up by him my entire life. Siblings can be good for exercise equipment, making you laugh, someone to be there for you when you cry, someone to annoy you, and someone to test your hairstylist skills on, such as your younger innocent sister. One day, my mom had half of my hair up on top of my head, and my brother thought I could use a new hairstyle, so he cut underneath the rubber band, leaving me with a mullet for the whole next year. My mom was mortified and wouldn't bring me out of the house without a hat or a big bow, or as I preferred was wigs. Brothers and sisters are always fun to mess with. One time, Colin thought it'd be amusing to tape clear fishing line outside my room and down the hall, so when I left my room, I unwittingly walked straight into the lines. Even when I was a baby, that didn't keep him from messing with me. One day when I was sitting in my high chair enjoying my food, my parents left me alone for about 2 minutes, and then they came back to see that my brother had poured an entire box of pancake mix on me. I don't mess with him as much as he does with me because I know whatever I do, he will get me back 100 times worse. Siblings are good teachers. I wouldn't know half the things I do about guns, trucks, or the outdoors without Colin. Before I had my license, Colin would be driving me around, and before we went home, he would drive down a random neighborhood and make me decide whether a truck took diesel or gasoline, as if I cared at all. When we played outside, I learned to catch lizards and climb trees. I think he was basically just teaching me to be the little brother he never had. So if you get anything from this speech, I hope you've realized the role siblings can play in your life. And if you have them, I encourage you to get to know them a little better. Friendships may come and go, but you're stuck with your siblings. They may annoy you and drive you crazy, but after all, they're your first best friend and will always have your back. Thank you.